in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 let the light shine through. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back in Happy pre-market. Hopefully had a good session yesterday once we were done on AceFX TV. We got another great stream ahead of us today in about 40 minutes or so. So if you got any questions or any trades you want to go over here pre-market, send them on in or shout out what time it was. We can go try to find that. But nothing on here pre-market, but it looks like buyers are looking to hold in, which we love to see. I mean, just been talking about it all week long. Even last week, just really condensed things. It's been choppy, ugly, sideways. Not a lot of whole continuation on. I mean, if you really, even when it was bearish, I mean, when was this? This was February? Even these down days. We don't like down days, but at least it's continuing. Another new low, another new low, another one. It's a little bit easier to trade when there's some continuation in trend. Then you come to here, it's up, back down, a little bit up, back down the next day, up yesterday. Now, we're not out of the woods. We are still kind of near this high, right at that high. But ideally, we could just find some price discovery. We all trade better with the trend. So let's hope it's back in, shall we? But like I said, I'll be jumping over to AceFX TV. What time is it? 9:40. Yeah, like 40 minutes or so. That's where we live stream every single morning, which many of you probably already know, and you're going to jump over there with us already. So for anyone that's not signed up, it's free. You can just click the link in my bio or head to ASFX TV, and you'll see you could use code FIRST for a free month. I definitely like the longs here heading into pre-market. Ideally, like many of the days, we come back down a little bit. We find some nice clean longs off of VWAP. We know our best prices come from there, which is why we can go over yesterday's trade real quick, which I know many of you did take on stream. Super clean. Now, the first lesson of it all is trading in that first 15 minutes. I think I had a long idea marked up pre-market. You can't see it here, but just to the left, that we were above VWAP. I want to be a buyer today. All right, so then buy it right at the open or into the open. You probably get smoked. That it's just like treat it like two sessions. If you're in a trade right now, pre-market or wherever, get in, get out. You could look for another re-entry at New York Open, right? Because you run the risk of just getting smoked. Then the longs come in and you could have made money, but you bought it back here, right? The price paid, but the timing was just too premature. So we're not chasing the first 15 minutes, aka still not even chasing the shorts, right? Because the first 5 minutes come in bearish. And unfortunately, we had a couple people on stream in the chat apparently shorted there because it's just moving lower. Holy shit, so exciting. 3 minutes down, sellers are in control. It's just not a setup. It's just not a signal. It's 2 bars. It's 120 seconds of information. So you sell it at the worst price. It comes back up and you question your whole entire existence of what was that? Give it 15 minutes. We never find our best trades in the first 5 minutes, right? We're just going to get more and more information on what side of the view up do we want to stay on, where are our best trades going to come from, and then you get this beautiful entry at 10 o'clock. You have to wait 30 minutes for a textbook clean setup right out of Futures 2.0, which is also on ASFX TV. So where I said we're going to be live streaming today, refresh this. Today's stream on Wednesday will be live at 9:25, trading all through the open, and then Zach will be on this afternoon. Plenty of opportunities to find trades. Don't need to go rushing in the first 5 minutes. Now, when you sign up for ASFX TV, like I said, the first month's free, but you also get access to everything on here. So you get Futures 2.0, my strategy that I built. I did an update to it in December. You got 19 chapters of what to look for, what the setup should be, and this is it. Not chasing the first break of open range high. Similar to trading in the first 5 minutes of noise, this breakout of the open range high is a trap 90% of the time, if I had to put a number on it. Just inducement of, oh my God, it's breaking out. Every amateur is going to want to buy that because it looks so bullish. It's so exciting. It just often doesn't run. Wait for the pullback. Now you want to be involved at the VWAP. If you're not at VWAP, don't click the keyboard or your mouse. Don't do anything, right? We know our best trades come from these lines. And then on this day, we have 3 of them stacked on top of each other. So we either have a lot of support that's going to bounce us higher, or we're breaking through 3 VWAPs and we're changing trend. So I like it either way because you're going to get a whole lot of information if this loses on saying, okay, buyers are not in. I know I don't want to be looking for longs anymore. Let me pivot to the shorts, right? Because you don't have like a couple of VWAPs above, a couple below, one in the middle. No, we're at every single key one that we look at. This is going to bounce or it isn't. So we're going to find out one way or another. But with the buyers in control here, right? New high a day. Great. There's the break of open range high. I like that for longs, but I'm not going to chase it there. Here's the better price. And you trade back up to that high. You're getting out when the amateur is getting in. I want you guys to think about that. Every single trade you're taking, is this normally where I would get in? Or is this where a lot of people are going to probably pile in and lose. Amateurs chase breakouts, and then I'm going to give my position to the amateur. I'm getting out when they're getting in, and they're probably going to get smoked. Simple as that. That's what you guys gotta start thinking of it as. Scott, what's up? Mozina, what's up? Good morning. Danny, what view up indicator do you use? So this indicator you see on the bottom right, if I go to my chart here, is the new indicator, the VTC indicator that just came out, I don't know, a week or two ago, I want to say. That you get this whole entire dashboard on the bottom right, as well as it paints all the view ups for you and the value area levels. So you can find that in the link in my bio on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever. Or go to asfx.biz/indicator and you'll be able to find it. But if you're watching on my Twitter right now or wherever, you can just go to the link here and it'll pop up. So it's the VTC indicator. You can also go see it on the website here. You'll get all of it. And once you do get it, you guys get a tutorial video that comes with it on what each setting means, right? Because it doesn't just have like the automatic VWAPs, it's going to automatically paint them all for you. Previous days, there's a whole bunch of customization. But then you also get this dashboard and also value area levels. Where you can see all the settings in here. I have quite a bit unchecked, but you can check off as many as you want. Last month's VWAP, start of week, last week's high of week, whatever. Previous week's value area levels, even just today's high and low, Asia's high and low. Whole bunch of customization. So if you want that, the link's down there. You can just, like I said, asfx.biz/indicator. But yeah, it played a huge role in yesterday's trade. I made an Instagram reel on it, so you guys haven't seen that, pretty much describing how I used it. Now, at the time of this markup, everything is green. But when I'm long on NQ here, ES, this dot, if you guys could see that, would have been red, or the ES one, whatever. That ES was not above its New York VWAP. I think I have a markup of it. Here, ES long, indeed I do. So when I'm long NQ, ES is actually breaking a little bit below its VWAPs. Oh my God, start to panic, shit your pants. But no, the structure is still fine. But then once ES here took back its VWAPs, I'm already long on NQ, which is never broken below its VWAPs. Now everything is back green. Beautiful. Buyers are in across the board now. Why wouldn't this go higher? You know what I mean? So I'm going to sit through my NQ trade because now ES has buyers, YM has all buyers. We're above every view up across the board. Well, that's not a signal to be short. So it just slows things down and you don't need to go flick around to every chart. You know, what is ES doing? Oh my God, is YM turning around? Don't care. Simple, simple. Trev, what's up? How you doing today? I'm doing good. How you doing, Trev? Can you show the indicator you use for the view up? There you go. Hopefully that just explained it, Danny. Luigi. Booyah. Good morning. But this was yesterday's trade. Trading back to the high. I trimmed some off at this high of day and then even more off a couple points higher, again at the high, because that's what the plan says. Trade back to previous structure. For anyone that's confused on that, we're trading pullbacks here, clearly. Back down to a VWAP. Let's go make the next higher high. So let's say today. Let's just go to today's chart right now. If I was going to buy it, trading back to previous high, right there. That's terrible, right? But if I can get a pullback, let's say I buy it back here, I don't know. If I buy it down here at VWAP, my target would be way up there. This is the money. Anything in between there. Okay, there's plenty of room. Let me go try to go get that money. So if there's not a whole lot of room up to that previous structure, I don't love it as much, you know, because if I long it here, not that it can't happen, but I need a breakout. I need buyers to push this thing for new highs and new highs and new highs in order to make any sort of money, right? Where if I buy it on a pullback, even let's go to yesterday's trade. If this didn't break out for a new high, we know it did. But if it didn't, I could still make money because I got price close to VWAP and I had room up to previous structure. Right? If this just wanted to chop and come back down, it doesn't matter. I could still make money in that. Right? Where if you're buying it at the high, you can't make money in that because you need a new high. Does that make sense? Good morning. Up 3K in my instant funded 150K account. I've only been able to trade 4 days. 3K in 4 days. Yeah, that's not bad. I know you've been asking a lot of questions on risk on the ASFX TV streams on a 150K account. I mean, 3K is great no matter how you cut it. But yeah, I mean, that's like $750 a day. That's beautiful. You know, just keep rinsing and repeating that. Go slow and steady, even if it takes you till mid March, third week of March to get to 9K. I'd be very pleased. You know, so don't go rushing of like 3,000 is not enough. I gotta up the size, up the amount of trades I'm taking. No, you're good. How do you come up with that stop loss? So yesterday was a good example on, well, like I said, we have these 3 VWAPs stacked here. I know I don't wanna be a buyer if we're breaking for a new low a day. So for many of my markups, you'll see a stop loss at opening range low, and that is where 95% of the time it should go, right? Because with this is our higher low we're saying. Higher low back here. Ideally, this is our next higher low to go make the next higher high, which we did. But there is a world where it can come down, bounce. Okay, here's the higher low, right? So it could be formed anywhere between here. So I don't want to put a stop loss right in the middle, get smoked, and it still come higher. So that's why you say cover the open range low. Because if it doesn't, if it breaks for a new low, you wouldn't want to be in the long anymore. But on this one, with these 3 VWAPs stacked, if it breaks all 3 of those and even comes close down here, no bueno. No bueno. For this example, right? But you can see plenty of other ones where it's open range low. And if you did it on this day, it's like 10 more points. You're fine. So that's normally how it should never be at current structure. You don't want to suffocate it right here. I think the better example would have been on ES. Let's say you're long it here on ES. You're thinking, okay, here's the higher low. What? That's trying to be too perfect, way too perfect, because then you get smoked and it still come higher. So this was the higher low, not here. And you don't want to have to guess where it's going to be formed. You just want to say, as long as it doesn't make a new low, I like the longs. It's as simple of a statement as that. As long as it doesn't make a new low, keep me in a long. But as soon as you start saying, okay, we're going to bounce exactly here, it's not going to come a little bit lower. Now you're trying to predict exactly what's going to happen. And that's very difficult to do. Oh, yeah, and then I had some trades in the afternoon, just taking advantage of the higher lows. Like I said, I'm trading pullbacks, trade back to the high, trade back to this high. A little bit of a breakout here, but I'm not saying I'm never gonna catch a breakout. I'm just not trading it on the breakout. I'm not gonna long it here at the new high, because what do you get? Immediate pullback. You long it here at the high, immediate pullback. So if you're buying it at the highest price, you need help. That's for sure. What's the main view up you keep on the indicator? I didn't watch the full video yet. So with my VWAPs, it's pretty simple. It's just today's New York VWAP, which is going to anchor from the 9:30 open. This dark blue one here you see is yesterday's 9:30 open. I'm not saying it's not important, but in terms of rank, today's New York, the overnight or the daily VWAP, which was from 6 p.m. yesterday, and then previous day's New York VWAP. Right? If I had to put it in a rank for you, but never ever fighting today's New York. You know, that's that's the one staple for sure. But there's plenty. I mean, you get start a week VWAP. Plenty of people have been turning that on. It's not a bad one. I mean, it is Wednesday, so let's see what start a week looks like. Put it on a 15-minute here. What do we got? Start a week. Why is that black? Well, everything comes standard black. I would turn that yellow for a start a week VWAP so you can see. Here's the start of week from Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Bounced above it yesterday. We're above it today. So not really gonna be a lot of value today because all I need to know is that we're above it. But in some way, let's say on Thursday or something, we come back down to it. I'd want to know if we're at it, because we definitely could find some bounce. So there's plenty of options of different view ups you could use. And just click them on, click them off. They started last week, started month, high of year. Those are good ones, of course. But this is the daily view up. I watch it on the 15-minute. But as long as we're above this and we're above New York from today's 9:30, beautiful. I'm missing $1,000 on my trades. I usually trade one trade per day. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I would challenge you, Trev. I mean that's not the end of the world, but you always said that on stream, like I'm only taking one a day. Is that like a time constraint, or is it just like a lack of wanting to take multiple? Because yeah, it's tough to be one and done, but it's not terrible. I think it helps some people for sure, at least in the early going. My only fear with the one trade per day on the green days, it's great. If your first trade of the day is red, you're guaranteeing a red day because you're done. Not the end of the world, but it's very tough to just be perfect every morning. That's pretty much what you're expecting of yourself, of saying, I'm going to be either right or wrong on this first one. And if I'm wrong in the first one, I could still potentially claw it back and end that day green. I don't want to necessarily have a red day just because I was wrong on my first idea. So I'll be wrong on my first idea plenty of times. Now, if I'm wrong on my first and second idea, then yeah, I deserve to be red. You know what I mean? But just because I was wrong on my first one doesn't mean I should be red. You know what I mean? But level wise, here on ES and NQ, I think Austin turned it on this morning. We could do the same. We're well above previous day's value rate high, POC. So another one we could do is previous weeks. Let's turn those on. And what do we want to do? Red. So everything comes black, like standard, just so you guys can customize the colors to how you want. So let's just make them red for this example, just to differentiate them. So previous week's value area levels, and again, something I'm still playing with, more so Randy's forte. So we lean on him on stream. He'll be joining us on AceFX TV today. So like I said, about 25 minutes or so, we're going to rock on AceFX TV. First month free for all of you guys watching. We're doing giveaways this week like we do every week, especially on Friday. I think on last Friday, Clay from Top One Futures was on stream. Not only did we give away 5 accounts, and I think in total that week we gave away 10 Top One Futures accounts. I think he was doing what, 70% discount? I know that was at least he dropped a code while we were on stream for like 70% off. So I know many of you took advantage of that, but that was crazy. But yeah, we'll be live at 9:25. So just click the link in my bio or head here to AceFX TV and just put in code first when you sign up. No strings attached. First month free. Simple as that. Where are these levels at? Oh, I didn't turn them on. I just turned the color. Come on, chat. Lock it in. You changed the color. You didn't click them on. There it is. You see that? It's a little bright red, but we're above even previous week's value very high. So I think longs above here, especially with these two stats on top of each other, very good. And where does that line up with? The daily VWAP. Beautiful. So if we get a pullback at the open, color me intrigued. Just feel comfortable with one trade. It's kind of just I trust those trades because I have 80% win rate with them. All right, beautiful. Then don't change it. If you're doing good with it, Trev, then by all means, do not let me influence you. And I wouldn't say risk 2K per day. I would say you would have to split that risk of 1K per day in half if you're going to take 2 trades. I mean, 2K is not a lot for a 150K account, right? I guess you technically get like 3,700 or so for the day, but why even get close? You know, don't even play with fire. Just stay as small as you can. That way you're not reacting negatively to a loss just because like, oh, that was 2K. Shit. But yeah, NQ new highs, ES new highs. I think we know who's in control. Just a matter of finding a good price at the open. What was Monday's? What was Monday's trade? So Monday NQ short at a futures 2.0. Let's take a look at this. Same idea. First break of open range low. What I said at the beginning of the stream. It's for amateurs. Pulls back immediately. So, and whether it was the first break or not, what did we say earlier? Just on breakouts. Sell it at the lowest price. Sell it at the lowest price, you get immediate pullbacks. Now, of course, if I sell it at this lowest price, it goes lower. You can make money. Well, of course, I'm not saying it's never going to make a new low, which is a lot tougher to always time new lows and new lows. So I don't want to chase breakouts. I need to be close to this beautiful blue line, no matter how you cut it. Give me a pullback. Sellers are going to defend this level. And if they don't, then I'm wrong. I'm getting new information of, hey, we're coming higher. We're now breaking above VWAPs. Structure is changing. I don't want to be a seller. But as long as we are holding underneath these VWAPs, I think we can move lower. Simple. So trading the pullback, stop loss again. So someone asked earlier, stop loss should never be at current structure. This one would hold. I don't care. 9 times out of 10, you want to give it space. So previous structure. Always find a structure point to the left, right? Should never be current because so many times if our stop loss is right here, you'll get pinned out and it still come lower. And you're like, why didn't I like the shorts anymore? Why am I out here? You know, that doesn't invalidate anything. So your stop loss should be where you really wouldn't want to be short anymore. And if we break out these 3 lower highs and we're above New York VWAP, do you want to be a seller from right here? Probably not. So get me on out and I'll reassess. No news today. Could be good, could be bad. Who knows? Usually don't take a full loss. I cut my losses short. Yeah, that's good. Everyone's got a different number. There's no perfect path, you know? Some people trade 3 times a day, some trade 1, 2, 5. It's just a matter of like your risk has to be in accordance to what you plan on doing. Someone plans or knows they normally take like 3 or 4 trades, then you got to adjust your risk accordingly. You can't just say I'm going to risk $500 per trade whether I take 1 trade per day or 5. Hell no. I'm opening myself up to like $2,500 loss then. So for me, knowing I only take like 1 to 2, I split that risk by 2. Earnings today after the open on Nvidia. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I know we have PPI on Friday. See if that happens. What else did we have on Monday? Because I know there was another short after this. What are these notes? That was just how it was such a big range. I mean, look at Monday's move. Just no pullback at all. Does that normally happen though? Not normally. Normally it's like yesterday when you get a pullback, or even on ES the other day, you get lower highs and lower lows with some pullbacks to VWAP. That's what we're waiting for. Yesterday, new high, pullback to VWAP. New high, pullback. New high, pullback. On Monday, that thing was just sinking. So really nothing to do in here. I didn't even mark up an idea. I'm not going to sell it there. It would have paid, but that's just not an entry idea. It just worked on that day. Just because it worked on that day doesn't mean it's an opportunity. Can you explain how to draw POC in value area? I cannot explain it. It's painted automatically in this VWAP indicator that we have built here. So that's as simple as I keep it. It paints it for us. Randy, who will be on A's Specs TV stream today, he can maybe break it down for you. I know also on A's Specs TV as well, not to keep pushing you guys here to it, but Zach came out with liquidity concepts. This is his strategy. He trades a little bit of ICT and volume profile. So he trades the value area levels as well. I'm sure it's broken down in here in a way that you could consume easily. Volume profile foundations, foundations part 2. So you can go through that as well. Also, like we said, Randy will be on stream today and he'll be able to maybe explain it to you a little bit better. But that's also the thing on some people paint it wrong, draw it wrong, measure it wrong. Where with this indicator, it's painted for you. Same thing with the VWAPs. So many times, like, I don't know how it became a confusion, but people thought yesterday's New York VWAP was from like the previous day's 6 o'clock Eastern. It's like that's not yesterday's New York Open. So just to eliminate all confusion, this thing is fully automated. It paints every VWAP for you, paints the value area levels, the opening range for you, everything. So there's no confusion on did we do this? Are we underneath this? You know what I mean? Yeah, he's coming on. You know that, Trev. Randy will be on. Austin will be on. Hells yeah. But what day is this lining up like? Not yesterday. Look at that yesterday. Oh, it was Monday. Yeah, look at Monday. Pop for a new high of day. See you later. Friday was slow and grindy. It's been ugly, so I want to find like a clean, beautiful example. But it's gonna be tough to find with this shit. Yeah, like this is New York Open. I remember that day. Fuck that. But there's some clean ones in there. Don't give up. Just not gonna scroll back forever. Think this was a day. I know. It was painting underneath New York view up and bounced here. Clean shorts. It bounces off of all 3 view ups again. No continuation. Trend came up. It's like, shit. What did I do wrong there? Nothing technically wrong. I mean, it was underneath view up, but retesting the same ones. I mean, maybe here there's no rejection of it. That thing just cut right through it. There's no bounce. Where this one, you wouldn't be selling it here on the bullish bar. You'd be seeing sellers step in with strength. So, okay, now we're in short after they showed a little bit of rejection. Where here, where is there a rejection? There is no bounce. So, theoretically, you shouldn't be in this until you see it come down a little bit, saying, okay, sellers are holding this view up. Now get me in. But either way, my whole point being it looked very bearish until it didn't, you know? And that's just been kind of the theme the past week or so of trend looks clean, but it doesn't have to continue beautifully. Yesterday it did. So that's great. But that just hasn't been the case. We found longs back here, longs here, longs here, longs here, and it kept on drifting a little bit higher. But you saw those other days, it just didn't continue. So if we can get back in the price discovery mode and just trend continuation modes, we're all better trend traders, that's for sure. And there was trending moves on those other days, but just like one or two of them. Look here in ES, we are now back above all-time high view up as well. We were playing around with that a few times last week. I know that was the real bitch of it when we were rangy, right? Rejected all-time high view up on Wednesday, Thursday as well. That's where we pinned on Friday's move up. So we couldn't really get above it. Now we are, slightly. So we're above that, above all-time high view up. If you put on a previous day's New York view up, it's going to be below you, well below you. So what view up are we underneath? Buyers are in control. So just a matter of having patience at the open to try to play that long bias. Did I watch the State of the Union yesterday? I watched some clips. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the USA medal portion. What did I miss, Trev? Lots of boos. The Democrats not standing up. What did I miss? Anyone got longs here pre-market? Not like a couple minutes ago, just in general. But yesterday, really, really clean. I think the entire BSC chat as well as AceFX TV stream was green or flat. Because, where was yesterday? Yeah, I don't know how you really be wrong yesterday. If you're long yesterday, let's go to the first NQ long. On NQ specifically, there's no excuse to have lost. Well, actually, there's no excuse to lose. But yesterday's YouTube video here, you can see that man talking about it. Structure. I put a lot of structure tips on this one, my cool funky drawings. But same thing yesterday. So if you go to here real quick yesterday, we're long off the bottom. Again, let me say again, we're bouncing off of 3 VWAPs. All 3 ones that we use. Okay. New high of day. Cool. Pullback. This is probably our higher low. Somewhere in here. Like we were saying, as long as it doesn't make here, higher low can form anywhere down here and move us back higher. So I like the longs. Now with this failed new high of day right here, are you guys going to bail out of that and get scared and say, oh shit, lower high incoming, we're coming back lower? Because that's the issue I see a lot of people have and ask questions on. So I assume you guys are having issues with it. I'm saying, okay, from this high of day, lower high, shit, this thing's coming lower. So not necessarily maybe you guys are shorting it. I don't think you guys are shorting it because you guys will be fighting every view up, and I should be able to smack you in the face for that if you're somehow short up here. But bailing on your long would be maybe just as bad, or moving your stops to break even. Because what happens? Stop loss break even? Thanks for playing. You're out. Here we go. So do not do that. But the whole point in that yesterday's YouTube video, so go check that out as well as yesterday. This isn't a lower high until there's a lower low with it, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm in a long and I'm bullish, I'm focusing on structure on the bottom. AKA, are we still making higher lows? Okay, great. Then I don't care what's happening on top here. This can keep on making these lower highs. Until it breaks the higher low, we're fine. And it never breaks the higher low. It keeps making another higher low and moves higher. So don't get scared out of your longs just because of the structure on top. Same thing. Let's go to yesterday's or Monday's short. Where could we look? I don't know if this came from here back to New York, right? Oh, a higher low from back here. No, 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 no. We're still falling on top. Sellers are in control. That makes sense? Am I saying it correctly? If you're in a short, you want to focus on the structure on top. If you're in a long, on the bottom. Sound good? Just found your channel. I signed up to AceX TV. How do I get a free trial? Looks like you have to commit to pay off the bat. So if you put in code first, Frankie, you'll get a free month. It'll take the discount to 0. I think it does say you get a free trial. I don't know why that's even in there. Like a 3-day free trial, are you saying? I don't know why that's even in there. I told Austin to remove it. Because there is no like string attached. If you have to pay off the bat, you do not. So if you just sign up with code first, I mean, you can go again to the link in my bio. You'll see it here. I'm signed in, so if I click on this, it's gonna just take me to my profile. But if you're not signed in, it'll take you to the checkout page, and if you put in code first, boom, you'll see it switch to 0. So trust me, 0, 0, 0. You're not gonna be charged anything. Good morning. Why don't we use view up deviations? Just not. I don't think it made me more profitable. I don't think it gives you guys a extra edge. We've played with it in the past. I don't think it helps very much. I think it gives you guys more trade opportunities, if you want to call it that. If you're using bands or deviations, it's going to show maybe more entry opportunities. But more opportunity doesn't mean it's good or better. Just giving you more things to decide on if you want to take. You know, I'm just focusing on the New York VWAP. If it's off this, I like it. If it's not, I don't like it as much. Or if I add this band, I'm going to have a whole lot of decision making of, oh, I kind of like this. Oh, there's another opportunity. Less is more. And whether it works or not, I've just found my groove on what does work. So don't need to overcomplicate it, right? Because there's other view ups I could add as well. I could add like a yesterday's low or yesterday's high, a month start of month view up. There's just so many you could play with, to each their own. Less is more. I don't want to have 6 view ups on my chart. I don't want to have 7 bands and an RSI on the bottom and a volume profile. You know what I mean? So just less is more. Because we used to have bands in the past, and like in terms of like overextension wise, it was like a signal on like if we're outside the band, it's pretty far. Like let's just draw a band here. It's like okay, we're pretty far from the deviation band. I'm gonna need to let this thing pull back. But then I'll be buying it off of here off the band, and yeah, it looks good right now if that's where the band is. But it just gives you so many opportunities. Okay, I buy it there. It comes back to New York view up, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's what I would normally wait for anyway. So just didn't need it. There's a couple. There was I think a meal in the BSC. He was showing like, yeah, I'm experimenting with bands. I'm like, respectfully, why? No one in the Black Strip Club that's taking payouts is using these bands. So like, why do we feel the need to add them? You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like the determining factor if you start taking payouts or not, in my opinion. So with about 10 minutes until the open or till we jump on AceFX TV stream, like I said, buyers are here. Short term, they're above every VWAP. Now, since we don't love chasing breakouts or even just buying it at the breakout price, I'd be rooting for a little bit of sellers at the open just to sweep out some amateurs chasing shorts and bounce back higher, right? This is the overnight VWAP. You'll see it on the indicator dashboard. I'd like to be above that and above today's New York. So, not into anything into the open. I'm not going to rush into anything during the open. We say it all the time on stream. This trade on Monday, 10:23. Gotta wait 50 minutes. Can you wait 50 minutes? Yesterday, 10 o'clock. Can you wait 30 minutes? Or are you getting all excited with chasing shorts at the low and then jumping into a long? Just a lot of noise. Or you wait till 30 minutes and then you're out of your trade in 20 minutes. So we often don't chase trades in the first 10, 20 minutes even. Sometimes they're there on a specific day of like, this is too good to pass up. But for the most part, give it a full 15 minutes, 20 minutes, see what's shaking out, who's in control, and then we'll find our trades. Like I said, we got an afternoon stream today. Zach will be on at 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you can't tune into the whole New York stream this morning, you can come back this afternoon. Study Futures 2.0 this afternoon if you're looking to trade the same view up entries we're going to take on stream. Because once you guys tune into stream, it's obviously great. But if you're looking to trade with us, you'll understand what we're looking for, why we're taking this setup, why we're not taking this certain setup. Once you go through this, you'll understand. And then you come into the streams to shape it a little bit easier. But okay, I get the lessons now. Now I'm actually practicing it on the day to day. And you'll see this dashboard fill up once the open comes in with previous day's view up, all that stuff. So last call for questions. Last call for questions. And then obviously ask more questions on AceFX TV stream. But last call here. Like I said, top one futures should still be running 60% off. For many of you, I know you guys are making the switch, trying to get away from Top Step. So if you need a top one futures account, my code should still get you 60% off if you've never bought one, which is kind of crazy. So I say it strategically. If you plan on buying multiple accounts, like a more expensive one and a less expensive one, buy the more expensive one first because you're going to get 60% off that one. All right. It just makes sense. I bought an Ignite account on Friday for like $110 when Clay was handing out 70% like it was candy. So, but yeah, it's 35% off the instant fundeds, which I'm trading right now. I have 350Ks. And then the Ignites are 45. Yeah. But as always, the link to everything you need is down here if you need that. The indicator is now available for all you guys. I'm going to have a YouTube video coming out on that as well and how to use it, the settings of it as well. Maybe not so much the settings of it. It's pretty boring. But and also when you do get this indicator, a tutorial comes with it. You know, and like the settings of it. Not like how to take trades with it per se. Just like what do all these settings mean? Why would I turn this on? Why would I not? Things like that. Now on the day to day, how to use it, how to trade it, like how I'm using it, that'll be in like my daily recaps and things like that on the YouTube videos. I mean, it was even in yesterday's, you could see the dashboard down there. So keep up on the daily YouTube videos for that regard. But a tutorial on how to use it, that'll be out once you guys get the indicator. Frankie all signed up. Beautiful. We'll see you there in 5 minutes. Is the indicator something connected to the channel or something you've paid for separately? So this is separate. This is its own paid indicator that came out, I think last Monday. We were working on it for many months and trying to make sure everything was right because some of the things weren't painting correctly or it was lagging or all these different things. We also played with like the layout of everything. So it took a lot of trimming, but it's finally ready. So you guys get access to it last week. So like I said, the link's down here, the acefx.biz/indicator. You could buy the monthly or the yearly or links in bio. But yeah, look forward to seeing you on stream in a couple minutes. I'll look out for Frankie Fortunes, unless you have a different name on stream. All right, we got a new YouTube video coming out today at 11 o'clock about the Monday's trades. Yep, and then Tuesday's trades will probably be tomorrow or Friday. All right, so let's have a good day. Let me know if you need me. Ask any questions on stream if you need. Let's do the honors of starting our Wednesday DRC. Good trades only. Mark up your ideas as well, right? Especially if you have these ideas and impulses to want to trade at the open. Just mark it up. Mark it up. That's it. Don't trade it. We got overnight view up down here at value very high. Be very interested at these levels. If we do come back a little bit lower, be setting up good long prices. But also make sure that buyers do step back in and that we don't just sell off. Sound good? Well, I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Make sure you guys head over to AceFX TV if you're going to join us there for the rest of the morning. If you're done, good luck trading today. Hopefully you don't rush anything and you take what I said today. And we have a good Friday pre-market stream. I'll be back here. And you guys have nothing but good news to share from your trading session today and Thursday, all right? And then we'll be back on AceFX TV the rest of the week. But we'll do this pre-market again on Friday, all right? But yeah, Trev, Frankie, Samuel, Rebel, everybody tuning in pre-market, Luigi, Danny. Hopefully you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys on AceFX TV in a couple minutes. Go grab your coffee, do stretch, go punch a wall, whatever you normally do pre-market. I don't know. But see you on stream in a couple minutes.